I have the Survivor PTSD codependency journal entry, Sunday the 1st of March 2015. On the second day, and I can't tell you how grateful that I am that I have a second day whereby I wake up feeling as though I'm getting the sertraline out of my system, and this sensation feels like the rod in the Matrix where they put the rod in the back of the head that's inserted in the back of your neck where your medulla meets the spine, the one that uploads in instantaneous vast amounts of data all at once. Well, it feels like it's been removed, and you remain unravaged by involuntary intrusive triggers and memories if you remain to do the right things. Well, I've started to visit the FB PTSD Broke the Silence website, and I have soaked up all the peer posts, all the information, advice like a sponge that had been left in a garden shed, forgotten about and euphorically found when looking for an ideal item to wash the patio furniture with. To prepare for the barbecue weather and gets plunged into some nice hot soapy water. Cleansed is the word. I also visit a Mind FB's website, and I research some other possible mental health conditions because I'm no doctor or a psychologist or a psychiatrist. Therefore, it would be impossible to unequivocally diagnose myself, but I am a responsible person and believe that I should be ready to confront what is happening to me, even if it exposes my worst fears. And I'm actually one of the countless names that I've been called over the years, such as bipolar, schizophrenic, to name just two of the frequently used names I've been called. Oh, and don't forget the phrasing, you really are seriously fucked up, aren't you? But never before had I heard anyone use the term PTSD. And even though my symptoms are to the book, to the letter, even though we lived with each other for many years, all types of family members, and they witnessed the nightmares, flashbacks, triggering anxiety states, adrenaline, and the many other varying symptoms and intensities, and even though it was usually them or outsiders' immoral behaviour and undisclosed abuse that triggered it all. In hindsight, now I can look back over all these years of all different types of relationships. I've started to recall and pinpoint some of the symptoms that were critically pointed out, made fun of, even when I tried desperately to explain and share what I was experiencing. Like, I suppose, the many sudden circumstantial stresses that would appear, like constantly moving from one house to the next. And over about 20 years, I moved about 6 times within a setting, like a family setting or relationship settings, and it always seemed to be when other countless stresses weren't really instantly reducing me to a dishevelled state. And that dishevelled state is what I now believe to be extreme PTSD symptoms. You know, people even critically stated that I appeared to be triggered by music or situations, and would say in a voice that sounded like a teacher tediously ridiculing their pupil, "What triggered you today? What's happened?" Which made it even less likely I would then share this with anyone. They'd point out when my pupils had enlarged, which is anxiety, which I can only assume as a result of researching the symptoms of PTSD that this is a common symptom of being pumped with the body's natural adrenaline rush my body's defence, the fight or flight, in having been triggered. But looking back, I can also identify that I was scared shitless by the sensations that I was feeling. But I definitely know it was severe and intense enough to cause me to freak out further. Even the fact that I instantly needed a poo just before leaving the house, every single time I had to go somewhere that was in a wide open space with loads of people, I needed the last minute, just as we're leaving, we had to stop, I had to go to the toilet. That became a joke. It was pointed out as a joke, but became something that I went along with for the sake of other people, but wanting to make a mountain out of what was actually a mountain. Didn't want any bad memories caused for any people, and therefore it could be remembered in levity and not stained by even a glimmer of trauma associated with the fact that this has come from trauma. This is anxiety. But I can recognise this as yet another 2 symptoms of PTSD, because one, I instinctually began to fear the frequent adrenaline rush that going out at times of great stress caused. That, as I had already been triggered by intensely stressful events and then caused further distressing symptoms. And 2, the body evacuating its contents, so needing to take a poo at the most inopportune moment as we're just leaving the house. And this is as a result of triggering my fight and flight, and this still happens today. And I can even look back and define with turbulent accuracy when the unfortunate set of circumstantial events started to increase from 1 or 2 major high stress incidents to 3, 4, to 4 to 5, and so on. And periodically this happened throughout my life, and in particular within the last 3 decades or so. It's when I started to really notice it. I now firmly believe that these strange periodic set of unfortunate circumstances were increased because I'd joined the gym, therefore I was working out. I was working out before work or after work, depending on whether the circumstance acquired it. If I knew there was going to be a lot of stressful tension events, I would work out after work. If I knew work was going to be really stressful, I'd work out before work. And it was helping me manage any sudden circumstantial issues that arose, and the sometimes extreme high stress and distress that these caused. Which is also another great point as to why I've been unable to cope as well just recently, and in particular the 4 to 5 month period that the benefits started to fuck with my ESA benefit entitlement, because my initial homeless circumstances not only knocked me for 6, but knocked the gym on the head because I couldn't pay for it. Then the benefit delays and sanctioning stopped my only means of heavy duty exercise, my football training, the 90-minute matches and team social affiliation, and again because I couldn't pay for it. So yes, a very unfortunate set of continuously accumulative set of continuously periodic sets of events. And you may now be pondering as to why I wasn't running for free, taking a ball to a field for free on my own with my footy friends, and I was doing both, taking runs even while homeless and sleeping in my car. I would wake, change into my running gear that I'd pulled out of the bags, crammed in my car, and go for a run along the seafront and on the sand to keep my muscles primed. This then was continued once I initially housed in one of the main homeless centres, emergency shelters, and others started to join in, which was amazing because I actually felt that I was starting to slowly defeat my homeless situation and rebuild the scattered fragments bit by bit. Okay, I'm going to leave it there to be continued. Keep those journals. Look after yourself, and I'll be posting soon. Thank you. Take care.